Picture this. It's early August. The thermometer is pushing 95 degrees. Your neighbor is dragging a hose around their wilted garden for the third time today, and your water bill just made you consider taking out a second mortgage. Sound familiar? Now picture this. Instead, you're sipping iced tea on your porch, admiring a garden so spectacular that strangers stop to take photos, while your sprinkler system sits unused and your water bill stays reasonable. The secret? You've discovered the world of drought-resistant plants that are so stunning, they're breaking the internet. Welcome back to Senior Green Thumbs. I'm here to shatter every myth you've ever heard about drought-tolerant gardening. Forget those old images of boring, spiky desert plants. Today's water-wise plants are the same ones showing up in luxury resort landscapes and trending all over social media. I'm about to introduce you to 10 absolute showstoppers that will transform your garden into a water-wise paradise. These plants don't just survive drought, they throw a party during it, and the best part, most of them get more beautiful the more you ignore them. Whether you're dealing with water restrictions, clay soil, sandy soil, or just want a gorgeous garden that won't leave you exhausted every weekend, these plants are about to become your new obsession. Plant 1. Bougainvillea, the social media superstar. Let's start with the plant that's literally taking over Instagram feeds across the world. Bougainvillea. If you've scrolled through any garden or travel account lately, you've seen this beauty cascading over Mediterranean walls or framing doorways, like living jewelry. Here's something that will blow your mind. Those gorgeous flowers everyone's photographing aren't actually flowers at all. They're modified leaves called bracts, and they come in colors so vibrant they look like they've been touched up with a filter. We're talking electric hot pink, deep royal purple, sunset orange and crisp paper white. But here's the real magic, and this is where it gets counterintuitive. The secret to spectacular Bougainvillea blooms is actually stressing the plant out. The drier and more neglected you keep it, the more desperate it becomes to reproduce, which means more of those stunning colorful bracts. It's like this plant rewards you for forgetting to water it. I've seen gardeners baby their Bougainvillea with daily watering and wonder why it's all green leaves and no color. Meanwhile, the neighbor who planted theirs and basically ignored them has a wall of magenta that stops traffic. The plant is literally teaching us that sometimes less really is more. One quick tip for my fellow seniors: if thorns are a concern, look for varieties like Helen Johnson or Rusenka. All the drama, none of the battle wounds when you're pruning. Plant 2. California Lilac, the honey-scented cloud. Now let me tell you about one of North America's best-kept secrets, California Lilac, or Ceanothus as the botanists call it. Imagine walking outside on a warm spring morning and being hit with the most incredible honey-sweet fragrance, then looking up to see what appears to be clouds of blue flowers covering an entire shrub. This native beauty puts on a show that rivals anything you'll see in the fanciest botanical gardens. The flowers come in shades from powder blue to deep navy, creamy white to soft lavender. When they're in full bloom, you literally cannot see the leaves. It's just pure flower power. Here's what makes this plant a true drought champion. Once established, it can survive on rainfall alone in most climates. I'm talking about a plant that laughs at summer heat waves while other shrubs are gasping for water. Native Americans traditionally used various parts of this plant, calling it soap bush, because the flowers actually create suds when rubbed with water. The wildlife benefits are incredible too. Native bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds treat it like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You're not just planting a beautiful shrub, you're creating an ecosystem hub that supports local wildlife. Plant 3. Prickly Pear, the eatable landscape star. Hold on to your gardening hats, because I'm about to change your mind about cacti forever. Prickly pear cactus is having such a major moment in landscape design that high-end hotels are featuring them in their front entries. These aren't your stereotypical desert plants. They're architectural sculptures that happen to produce some of the most spectacular flowers in the plant kingdom. We're talking about blooms so bright and perfect they look artificial, yellow ones that glow like sunshine, pink ones that rival any rose, and red ones that practically pulse with color. But wait, there's more. Those flowers turn into fruits, called tunas, that taste like a cross between watermelon and kiwi. Yes, your landscape plant is also feeding you. The young pads, called nopals, are delicious grilled or sautéed. Suddenly your drought-tolerant garden is also your grocery store. Here's something that surprises everyone. Many prickly pears are incredibly cold hardy. I'm talking about surviving winters down to -20 degrees. Who says you can't have desert style in Minnesota? The modern varieties being bred today are absolutely stunning. Santa Rita's has purple tinted pads that look painted, while Burbank's spinelesses gives you all the beauty without the defensive spikes. Plant 4. Creeping Thyme, the living carpet. Are you ready to fire your lawnmower? Because creeping thyme is about to revolutionize how you think about ground cover. This fragrant carpet is absolutely exploding on Pinterest and garden design blogs because it solves so many problems at once. Picture walking across your yard, and with every step, releasing clouds of herby fragrance that makes you feel like you're strolling through a Mediterranean hillside. That's the magic of creeping thyme. The more you step on it, the more it releases those essential oils. When it blooms, and we're talking about a solid carpet of tiny purple flowers, it becomes a bee superhighway. I've counted dozens of bees working a small patch of blooming thyme. It's like hosting a pollinator festival in your own backyard. The practical benefits are incredible. No mowing, no fertilizing, no constant watering. It fills in between stepping stones, cascades over retaining walls, and can even handle light foot traffic better than most grasses. Plus you can harvest it for cooking. Your landscape is literally seasoning your dinner. Different varieties offer different experiences too. Elfin stays super compact and tight, while Pink Chintz gives you soft pink flowers instead of purple. Coccineus blooms in bright red. Imagine that carpet of color. Plant 5. Moss Rose, the Sunshine Edict. Here's a plant with such a cheerful personality, it's impossible to be grumpy around it. Moss Rose, or Portulaca, is like that friend who's always optimistic. It literally closes its flowers on cloudy days because it's waiting for sunshine to return. These little beauties have figured out the secret to thriving in conditions that would kill other plants. Poor soil, they love it. Blazing heat, bring it on. Forgotten watering, they actually prefer it. It's like they were designed by nature specifically for busy gardeners who want maximum beauty with minimum fuss. The flowers are absolutely stunning. They look like tiny roses made of tissue paper, in colors that span the entire rainbow: hot pink, bright orange, sunny yellow, pure white, deep red, and every shade in between. Many varieties have multiple colors on the same plant, creating a living kaleidoscope. Here's the really magical part: they self-seed like crazy. Plant them once, and you'll have volunteers popping up in the most unexpected places next year. I've seen them sprouting from cracks in sidewalks, thriving in gravel driveways, and creating natural bouquets in the most neglected corners of the garden. The succulent leaves and stems store water like tiny reservoirs, which explains their incredible drought tolerance. They're basically solar-powered plants that run on sunshine and stubbornness. Plant 6. Blanket Flower Thyme, the non-stop bloomer. If you could design the perfect flower for lazy gardeners, you'd create blanket flower. These native wildflowers have mastered the art of continuous blooming, without any help from you. No deadheading, no special feeding, no constant attention. Just plant them and enjoy the show from spring until frost. The colors are so saturated and vibrant, first-time growers often think they're artificial. We're talking about flowers that combine sunset orange, fire engine red, and sunshine yellow in patterns that look hand-painted by an artist. Each bloom is like a tiny sunset captured in flower form. As native plants, they've evolved alongside our local butterflies and beneficial insects. Plant a patch of blanket flowers and suddenly your garden becomes a butterfly magnet. I've watched painted ladies, monarchs and skippers practically queue up to visit these flowers. The drought tolerance comes from their prairie heritage. These plants evolved in areas with hot summers, cold winters, and unpredictable rainfall. They've literally been training for climate challenges for thousands of years. Modern breeding has created some spectacular varieties. Fanfare has trumpet-shaped petals that look like tiny lilies, while Goblin stays compact and blooms non-stop. Arizona Sun won major garden awards for its combination of stunning looks and bulletproof reliability. Plant 7. Hen and Chicks, the multiplication masters. Get ready for the most addictive plants in the garden world. Hen and Chicks. These rosette succulents are absolutely dominating social media feeds, and once you start collecting them, you'll understand why people become completely obsessed. The mother plant, the hen, produces perfect little copies of herself around her base, the chicks. It's like watching your plant have babies right before your eyes. Within a season or two, you'll have charming colonies that look like living art installations. The variety is absolutely mind-blowing. Some are tiny as quarters, others grow as large as dinner plates. Colors range from jade green to deep burgundy, silvery blue to nearly black. Some have fuzzy surfaces that feel like velvet, others are smooth and waxy. Many have dramatic color changes with the seasons: green in summer, flaming red in winter. Here's what makes them perfect for our changing climate. They're true cold weather succulents, surviving winters down to -30 degrees. You can finally have that trendy succulent garden, even in places where it snows 6 months of the year. They're incredibly versatile too. Tuck them between rocks, plant them in containers, use them as living mulch, or create entire succulent carpets. They work in modern gardens, cottage gardens, or traditional landscapes. Plant 8. Lavender Accessory Superstar. Let's talk about the plant that engages every single one of your senses: lavender. This fragrant superstar is having another major moment as everyone craves that French countryside aesthetic. But it's so much more than just a pretty face. First, there's the visual appeal. Those purple flower spikes rising above silvery green foliage create textural magic in the landscape. Then there's the fragrance that hits you from feet away on a warm day. The sound of bees working the flowers creates a gentle humming soundtrack to summer afternoons. But here's where it gets really interesting. Different types of lavender offer completely different experiences. English lavender has that classic sweet fragrance perfect for sachets and cooking. Spanish lavender looks like it's wearing little rabbit ears with its distinctive flower spikes. French lavender blooms almost year-round in mild climates. The drought tolerance is legendary. Once established, lavender can survive on rainfall alone in most areas. Overwatering is actually one of the few ways to kill it. The plants seem to get more fragrant and compact the drier you keep them. Plant it strategically where you'll brush against it as you walk in long pathways, near garden gates, or beside outdoor seating areas. Your clothes will carry that incredible scent with you all day long. It's like wearing a subtle natural perfume that never gets old. Plant 9. Trumpet Vine, the hummingbird. Fair warning, trumpet vine is not for gardeners who like everything perfectly controlled. This vigorous climbing vine has one mission in life: to cover everything in sight with the most spectacular orange trumpet flowers that hummingbirds absolutely go crazy for. Picture this: you're sitting on your deck on a summer evening, and suddenly it's like someone turned on the hummingbird channel. These tiny jeweled birds are dive-bombing the trumpet-shaped flowers, often with multiple hummingbirds working the same vine simultaneously. It's better than any nature documentary. The flowers are architectural masterpieces, perfect orange tubes, that seem designed by an engineer specifically for hummingbird beaks. They bloom in clusters from mid-summer through fall, creating orange fireworks against whatever structure they're climbing. Yes, it grows aggressively, but that's exactly what you want if you need to cover an ugly fence, hide an air conditioning unit, or create privacy screening fast. I've seen it transform eyesores into wildlife habitats in a single season. The key is giving it a job to do: a sturdy fence, pergola, or dead tree trunk. With annual pruning to keep it in bounds, it becomes a manageable wildlife magnet that requires zero irrigation once established. Recent breeding has produced some fantastic varieties. Flava has golden yellow flowers for something different, while Indian Summer has larger flowers and more compact growth. Plant 10. Agave. The sculptural statement. Prepare to have your mind blown by the architectural drama of agaves. These sculptural succulents are everywhere in cutting-edge garden design right now, and once you see them in person, you'll understand why landscape architects are obsessed with them. Each agave is like a living sculpture, with perfectly symmetrical rosettes that look designed by a mathematician. The leaves, thick, fleshy, and often decorated with contrasting edges or stripes, store water like built-in reservoirs. This is drought tolerance at the cellular level. The size range is incredible. Blue glow stays compact at about 18 inches, perfect for containers or small gardens. At the other extreme, century plants can reach 8 feet across, creating jaw-dropping focal points that dominate the landscape. Colors vary from jade green to powder blue, deep burgundy to nearly black. Many have dramatic white or yellow stripes, while others feature intricate patterns that look hand-painted. Cream spike has leaves edged in creamy yellow, while blue flame combines blue-gray leaves with red margins. Here's something that surprises everyone. Many agaves are surprisingly cold-hardy. Some varieties survive temperatures down to -10 degrees with proper drainage. You can have that southwestern desert look even in colder climates. The ultimate payoff comes when they bloom, a dramatic flower spike that can reach 20 feet tall, covered in exotic flowers that look like something from another planet. Yes, the mother plant dies after blooming, but not before producing numerous offspring to continue the dynasty. Let me share the insider secrets that separate successful drought gardeners from those who struggle. These aren't just tips, they're game-changing strategies I've learned from decades of gardening and thousands of conversations with fellow gardeners. First, timing is everything. Plant in fall whenever possible, especially in areas with hot summers. This gives your plants an entire cool, moist season to develop extensive root systems before facing their first summer stress test. It's like sending them to boot camp before the real challenge begins. Second, the mulch strategy that most people get wrong. Yes, mulch is important, but the type and application method matter enormously. Use gravel or stone mulch around Mediterranean plants like lavender and agave. It reflects light, improves drainage, and looks sophisticated. Save the organic mulches for plants that appreciate more moisture retention. Third, the grouping principle that transforms good gardens into great ones. Create hydrozones, areas where plants with similar water needs live together. Put your occasional water plants in one area, your drought lovers in another. This makes irrigation efficient and prevents the common mistake of overwatering drought-tolerant plants because they're mixed with thirstier neighbors. Here's a secret most gardeners never learn. Drought-tolerant plants often look better with some summer stress. That silvery color on lavender, that compact growth on agave, that intense flowering on Bougainvillea. They're all stress responses that make the plants more beautiful. Learn to embrace the beauty of benign neglect. Here's the paradigm shift that changes everything. Stop thinking about drought-tolerant gardens as settling for less, and start thinking about it as choosing plants that are naturally adapted to thrive with minimal input. You're not sacrificing beauty. You're choosing evolutionary winners that have spent thousands of years perfecting their survival strategies. These plants don't just survive drought, they've evolved to be more beautiful, more fragrant, and more interesting when grown with less water. They're rewarding you for working with nature instead of against it. The bonus benefits keep adding up: lower water bills, less time spent watering, more time enjoying your garden, better wildlife habitat, and plants that get more beautiful every year instead of requiring more maintenance. Imagine stepping into your garden next summer while your neighbors are dragging hoses around wilted flower beds. Your Bougainvillea is putting on a spectacular show, your lavender is humming with happy bees, your agaves are creating architectural drama, and your water bill is reasonable. This isn't just about surviving drought, it's about creating a garden that's more beautiful, more interesting, and more connected to the natural world. These plants offer textures, colors, fragrances, and wildlife value that traditional high-water gardens simply can't match. The best part, once you make this transition, you'll wonder why you ever struggled with thirsty plants that required constant attention. These drought champions will reward your minimal input with maximum beauty, year after year. What's your favorite plant from today's lineup? Have you grown any of these water-wise beauties before? I'd love to hear about your experiences and see photos of your drought-tolerant successes in the comments below. If this video has inspired you to rethink what's possible in a water-wise garden, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more practical gardening wisdom that actually works in the real world. Until next time, keep growing smarter, not harder.